Okay, I'm Dianne le Roux and I have been the manager at the Darling Museum for the last 20 years, helped out as a volunteer before that, so I've learned quite a lot of the history of the town along the way. Darling is named after Lieutenant Governor Charles Henry Darling. He was the Lieutenant Governor at the Cape Colony, as it then was, in around the 1850s when Cathcart was at the Crimean War. He, as far as I know, had no direct sort of contact in the town. I don't know if he was ever here, but he played a large part in the first government that was held in Cape Town at that time. So the founders of the town decided to name Darling after him. Town was founded in 1854. There had been farmers in the area for quite a long time before that. They farmed for the Cape Colony, but around the 1850s, they decided they wanted to have their own town, their own community, their own church, and so they bought off a section of Langfontein Farm, where Ormond wine farm is at the moment. This was all part of that farm, and they laid out the town in 1854. The old part of the town itself is surrounded around the area where the museum is. The museum building was actually the old town hall, and it was built in 1899. What actually happened was that the ladies of the town they had a, I can't find my info now. We're going to edit this out, eh? And just find out where. Okay, here we go then. So the town hall was established in 1899. Granny Duckett, who was formerly a funderette, was known as Aunt Mimi, and they had founded a play reading and drama society in the 1890s. A lot of talented local ladies, and they decided that they required a venue for their local talents and performances, and they formed a town hall committee, and with help from the farmers in the area produced the town hall in 1899. It was opened with a grand ball in August 1899. And then apart from the Darling Literary and Musical Society's productions, the hall was also used for weddings, school concerts, and other productions. As from 1917, the Wildflower Show was held in the hall, and the Town Hall Committee also organised a very important ball every year, and they would raise extra income to pay off the loan on the actual town hall. There was a tennis court alongside the town hall, and the whole district relaxed and enjoyed themselves there over the years. So this was the centre of the town and the community in those days. During the late 1920s and 30s, they also started a movie house, or a bioscope as it was called in those days. Every Saturday night they'd show films, Tarzan, Mickey Mouse, Popeye and Olive Oil. And then the arrival of the talkie films, of course, was very popular in those days. And the story goes that apart from the normal and the cultural activities, the town hall also had a very important function during bygone days. The old school is situated opposite the town hall, and senior agter die town hall speeltyd meant that a fight had been arranged between the bigger boys at school, and they took place behind the town hall at playtime 11 a.m. out of sight of the teachers, and especially Mr. van der Spey, who was the headmaster at that time. The Granny Duckett, who was Aunt Mimi, also founded the local public library, which she served on as a committee member until she was in her 80s. And that public library was run by Mrs. Merrington later on, and was taken over eventually by the municipality in the 50s. And the building is now used as the Darling Museum. The museum itself was founded in about 1978. Darling was very well known over all the years, of course being an agricultural town, for their butter and their very good milk. Even today now we have a Darling Roemerij in the town, very well known for their butter, their cream and their very special yogurt that they make. So in 1978, the motto of the Women's Agricultural Association was Observe and Preserve. And Tannie Baby, or Mrs. Baby Besson, suggested that the history of the Darling Creamery, which was founded in 1899, should be researched. And so this butter museum was founded to start to tell the story of butter making in the Darling area. And then with the idea of a museum, it soon snowballed, and all the enthusiastic residents of the town started donating memorabilia, their household items, and they soon had too many items to display in the original old creamery building. So in 1988 they moved into the old town hall. At that stage they had built the Darling Sports Club, or the golf club, and so the town hall was standing empty. And in this way the Darling Museum was founded, which now tells the story of the development of the town over all the years. Another very important building in the town is the old railway station. It dates from about 1903. Although at the turn of the century the line went past Darling on its way up the west coast. We have photographs in the museum that show people picnicking alongside the train. The railway station is situated at an altitude of 378 feet. It's on what's called the Western system, and is connected by a light railway or 2-feet gauge. Grain was transported from the grain store by ox wagon to the station. The old grain store can still be seen at the back of one of the shops in the main road, which used to be called the Check-In. It's now a fish shop. From the back, the Volmer store can be seen, and a lot of the older buildings in the town. The railway station was standing empty, turned into a store. And then in the it was about the 1990s, Peter Dirk Ace moved into town and turned the Darling station into Evita's perron or platform. And there now is another museum there which tells a little bit of the history of our political background, all very sort of tongue-in-cheek. A very popular place to visit for the shows that Peter Dirk de Ace does there. But there's still quite a wonderful little museum there of the history of our political background as well. Oh.